people would know Quincy Tellum and stuff, but they didn't know what I looked like. People thought I was Huncho at one point. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
Quincy Tellum. For those that don't know, Quincy is one of the best UK producers, hands down. Proper guy as well. He plays an integral role when it comes to M Huncho blowing up. Today's video, we got ADTV actually giving him an interview and asking him some questions that we can definitely learn from.
I went to college with his cousin. So at the time, he wasn't even making music like that, because this was like 2000 and I'm sure my age here, but like this probably like 2000.
Shout out to Hips, by the way, man. They just done a collab with Figs on Trees as well. Shout out to the brothers. You already know.
Or, you know, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he was just like, my cousin wants to make, he's making music now and stuff. But I didn't know who he was. Like, and then I've ended up just sending him beats. And one of those beats, his vocal, it became Come Up, basically. And then from when we made Come Up and he wrote to that tune, I've linked him. But at this time, like, man was already like, I'd made Bad Habits, like Porky's, like the song Porky's. So in that kind of world and that, like, man's name was kind of like, I was like meeting with like NSG and stuff. Well, I met them and stuff through bass, man. I had the session with like Lowski and stuff. So, but it was that sound, innit? So when I linked up with M, it was like a different kind of setting. It was like, this is the music I actually want to make, innit? So we've ended up linking M off the back of those beats that I sent him, and then we made a song called Mediocre.
I remember Quincy telling me this story because I asked him the exact same question when I had my first session with him. I was like, bro, like, how did you guys actually meet? Because having those type of collaborations, it just doesn't even make sense. But it makes sense because it's coming from like one of the most unexpected kind of circumstances, you know what I mean? And when I think about artists that I've collaborated with and I'm building with, for example, when I met Figzo, for example, it was random. Do you know what I mean? It was so random. In fact, like the first time I met him, I didn't even know he was an artist until towards the end of the session. Do you know what I mean? And that story, I'll keep on telling because it just shows that things that are destined to be great can't be planned. Do you know what I mean? So it has to happen organically. He's literally saying that, bro, like he knew of the guy from such humble beginnings, and M Huncho is arguably, I believe, like top 10 or 15 in the UK, you know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy.
Which was like the first song that he released on my beat, innit? And then that song done well, like instantly, like it hit like a mil in like, what, a week, innit?
Yeah, I remember that.
Louis. It hit like time, but it hit a mil like in a week or something.
And this was at a time where people weren't really getting views and stuff like that. So, mad, mental. I feel like M Huncho doesn't really even get his flowers like that, man. It's crazy.
And then that was my moment of, I can actually make the music I want to make now and be successful with it, kind of thing. But yeah, that's how we met. It's through his cousin.
Did you know, like, from then that you're gonna probably still be making music with him, like maybe what, 9-10 years later? Or
no, you know, like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't still. It's music, innit? Like, you don't know, you're gonna meet someone today, you might not see them again. Like, it's music, like they move on and do other things. But with him, because it was family, it was like a deeper connection, like, and we actually got along as friends, innit? So after that, obviously we linked up more music stuff and that. But when we started linking like outside of music, and it was more of a just like, man's linking as a brethren, that's when it became a thing of like we're locked in now, kind of thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, from there onwards, I kind of knew, yeah, like we're locked in on our stuff.
were you yourself then visible now, or were you just like, what was your social profile looking at them times there?
I don't think Quincy was like, he only started branding like that maybe, as far as I'm concerned, like maybe 2 years ago. But obviously, it's better hearing directly from Quincy, innit? But from what I saw, like when M Huncho was really starting to pop off, we all knew the tag, but we didn't really know what Quincy looked like and things like that. In fact, first time I actually saw Quincy or actually met him was, thinking about it now, was 4 years ago. And that was when he was in his old studio, like around like that Ealing Studios time. This was a time where that's where every single big producer was. Like, yeah, I met the NSG lot there. I met Quincy there. I met TSB there. I met TSB and IO, by the way, there. J House's producers. I met bare people, like too many people there. Like shout out to all the people in that area, man. But obviously, the studio, I believe it got acquired by like a bigger company or whatever. So everyone literally had to move to different places. So I remember one of my brethren, right? He was successful and he was like, oh yeah, that's he spudded Quincy, and I was like, bro, who's that? Because obviously, if I don't know the person, I'm not gonna come up and entertain a conversation. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, who's that? When we're walking back to the studio, I was like, oh yeah, that's Quincy, that's Mantra's producer. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't meet him officially until like a few, like 2-3 months ago. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. But let's hear what you have to say, bro.
It's still kind of slow. Like I was there, but I wasn't like my name was known more than me, innit? So
Exactly what I literally just said.
like people would know obviously because Hunter was like building kind of quickly, innit? People would know Quincy Tellum and stuff, but they didn't know what I looked like. People thought I was Hunter at one point. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's when I knew, yeah, I need to get my face out there, kind of thing. But
because I used to not, it used to part. I was like, oh, are they the same? Are they not? There's one wear a mask and one doesn't.
yeah, people thought I was him at one point. People thought, yeah, like there was even like a running joke that like we've never been seen in the same room together and stuff like that. But yeah, from then we were like managed to get out there. So I started doing little cameos in videos and stuff like that. I had like a cameo in Ocho Cinco and then yeah, I just started putting my name, like my face out there a bit more. But before, not really, no.
Nah, serious as well, man. Like shout out to M Huncho for also like pushing Quincy as well. Like from what I know, anyways, because with a lot of for example, I put out a post today talking about like the best way for a producer and an engineer to kind of push is if they lock in with one artist and that artist just has amazing chemistry with them and just bigs them up, etc. The only thing is that it's high risk, high reward, because if you invest in one artist, the artist can, I know it sounds kind of sad, but they can snake you at any point. They can be like, you know what, cool, you built me up from 0 to maybe 10%. And I now got a label door right in front of me. I now got better management or da. And rightfully so, is within their right, they can literally just decide, you know what, I'm moving on to, you know, greener pastures, as they say. But you also got the opposite, where the artist understands the foundation, just sticks with whoever basically made them get to that level, you know? That's how, for example, you got Nems and Zell, for example, shout out to Zell every single time. You got M Huncho and of course Quincy Tellum, do you know what I mean? And even, for example, myself and someone like Fake Zoe as well. So having those type of things, again, is high risk, high reward, but it pays off. It pays off, especially if both people are locked in and everything's kind of making sense, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's good that he was able to even do those cameos as well, because I know there's a lot of producers in situations where if it was to artists, yo, can have a cameo, the artist will literally just laugh at them. Do you know what I mean? So
you see, like obviously we spoke about this before we started about the not showing the face. What does Hunter explain to you why he didn't? Because obviously he said it to other people, but why? Like when you're there, did you ever think like, bro, just take off the mask, or what was his reasons to you when you're creating like why he don't feel he ever wants to like show his face?
I think it's just privacy, bro. Like he just wants to live a normal life, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like outside of music, like he wants to be able to just be himself. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, yeah, just privacy. And it's gotten to a point now where it's like, why even change it? Like you're nearly 10 years in the game wearing a mask. For you to take it off now, it wouldn't even make sense. Even if it's like even if his like reasoning's changed, like there's no point now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You're too far in, kind of thing. But at first I think it was just privacy. Like he just wanted to kind of just.
And the crazy thing is that M Hunter was one of the only people that was able to pull off that mask thing. Because remember, the mask thing became a thing after M Hunter, as far as I'm concerned anyways. Then you started getting like bare draw lot starting to use the mask, and then people basically pulling through, basically saying, you know what, like a man's gonna do this no face kind of thing so they can still live a private life. I remember K-Trap used to wear a mask as well. And then all of a sudden it's almost as if that everyone decided at the same time what we're taking off our masks, which is crazy as well. So it's one of them ones, man. Do you know what I mean? But M Hunter has been one of the only people to really, really like sustain having no mask, which is crazy.
make music and just cut through without people being like, this is eminent. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah.
Bro, also, one thing I was thinking about, what time when did Hunter get signed to Ireland? When you got signed, and I don't know this, I'm just actually asking, did it become more difficult to get beats placed sometimes? Because you know how it works sometimes, the labels will say, okay, there's this producer, this producer, this producer, this producer.
Oh, with what? With him?
Yeah.
No.
Not with him, but like, did you ever feel like the label's trying to get him in? Like, not. Sometimes labels just say, here's the guys that we think.
Yeah. Once you sign to a label, it's like, we've got our producers now.
Yeah.
Not really. I was locked in, bro. I've always been locked in, but I've always been a person to like I want him to work with other producers, bro. Like when he made like PP, some of his biggest songs aren't even with man like that, bro. I've just got a large portion of his music, but like I didn't make Tranquility. That was Linnet. I didn't make Tranquility. I didn't make PP. PP was ADP. Like so, it's good for him to work with other producers, bro. Why would I not want him to? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? But man's locked in regardless, like, and yeah, like, no, I didn't have no issues, bro. And a lot of these labels, fam, they don't even know what's going on, bro. They just think music is very formula. Like you just get this producer that's made this song, and you get this artist that's hot, and
they'll just come and make magic. It's crazy.
Mesh it like it's Powerpuff Girls or something. Like they think it's like some formula. Like music don't work like that, bro. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
And the thing is, like, to be honest, I generally agree, man, because even, for example, let's say someone like Figs as well, I push him to work with other producers. I remember from early days, it was me and him that were locked in when we were developing the sound. But when he finally got to a point where the sound was really making sense, then I remember like start looking with other people, and I would literally say like, bro, like keep on doing it, because what I realized was that when he locked in with other engineers and other producers, he would literally come back to, I would say, myself, and it's almost as though this guy like could gain like 50 XP points, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Doesn't even make sense, but it made sense. Do you get it? So it's one of those ones where you can't be, how can I say it, selfish with your producer or with your artist, sorry, when you're looking to basically come up. I feel like in the artist development stage, you need 100,000%. You need to lock in with 1 or 2 people max and just refine that sound, understand who you are as an artist. But it gets to a point where you need to start venturing out and actually working with other people just to see how you work in those environments, to learn new things as well. You know, me as a producer, for example, I've learned majority of the things that I know right now I remember in the early days, I was locked in with people like Nathan, DC, Pyro, Rems, Ishmatic, bare people, bro, you know what I mean? Locked in, and I learned from people like, for example, what I was with Nathan 70-80% of the time, do you know what I mean? So just watching him just click and doing whatever he did, it literally transformed the way I produce, bro. Like, it convinced me to get on FL Studio. It convinced me to start layering things a certain type of way to make, you know, things a bit more bouncy. And then, for example, when I had sessions with, let's say, for example, a JBJ as well, to change the way I was adding percussion in certain type of ways, and I eventually developed my own production style from seeing all of these other people and also like just working with people as well. So yeah, man, crazy. I'm going to leave the link down to this down below. I want you guys to go and support ADTV every single time, and also support Quincy. Let's get more views on this one for sure. But my people, I appreciate you locking in. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, and obviously subscribe. You already know. See you tomorrow.